Ik doe, ik denk na, ik voel, ik besta. Ik ben voor de liefde geboren. Ik doe en ik leef. Ik neem en ik geef. Want anders dan ben ik verloren. Ik doe en ik leef, ja.
Dit is het Ballenjournaal. Er gaat weer wat gebeuren in de stad. Er komt een theater en het gaat over sekswerk. Sekswerk over de hele wereld. Allerlei mensen doen eraan mee en ze komen uit alle windstreken. En de makers ga ik straks laten vertellen wat er allemaal gebeurt. En ook wanneer het gebeurt. Dit was het Ballenjournaal.
Sex Workers Opera is really excited to come to Amsterdam after finishing a sold-out UK tour. It's our first international full show, and it'll be from the 21st of July to the 2nd of August at 8 p.m. at Compagnietheater.
So the show is created by a company which includes at least 50% sex workers at all times. That's amongst the directing team, amongst the technical team, and the musicians and the performers. And the show is made up of the stories of the sex workers in the company and also stories that we received from 70 different people from 18 countries that were sent in to us from sex workers globally.
The show has been created to try and combat the stigma that surrounds sex work. In the UK, we have partial criminalisation, so it's legal to buy and sell sexual services, but it is illegal, for example, for two workers to work together for safety. And there's just a lot of two-dimensional representations of sex work, usually portraying sex workers as either very tragic and victims or very glamorous and exotic. And we try and say sex work is complex, it's human, there's many different ways that people would do sex work, and if you really want to know more about sex work, then you should listen to sex work.
Ik doe, ik denk na, ik voel, ik besta.
There will be Dutch stories in the show, as well as stories from many different countries, including the UK, and we explore how in different contexts with different legal systems, maybe there are different kinds of clients. Clients can be better, they can be worse, like in any job, but we really explore how sex workers can support each other and also be safer when they have less restrictions and less danger from also the law.
Ik doe, ik denk na, ik voel.
In the company of performers, there are people from 7 or 8 different countries, and obviously we've got stories from all over the world, but in the Netherlands, of course, there's quite an unusual situation regarding the legalization of sex work. So we're really still learning a lot about that. We're very interested to hear from sex workers who are working and living here. If they'd like to contact us and send us any questions or stories, then we'd love to hear from them. We are also learning by working with PIC, the Prostitutes Information Centre, and Proud, who are amazing sex worker rights organisations based in Amsterdam. We've heard some stories already about the impact of legalisation, which are not all positive, for sure. So we're looking forward to kind of finding out more.
And we're going to be running workshops in Amsterdam, workshops with feminist organisations to try and inform people of how they can support sex workers and include sex workers in their activism, and also creative workshops for sex workers, so local sex workers can get together and write a scene which will be included in the show, and we're going to have lots of Dutch stories in the show as well.
Camera shy now.
Ik doe, ik denk na.
So the show really is an exciting piece of art. It includes opera to hip-opera arias, jazz, contemporary dance and pole dance, all mixed together. And people have often said that they were surprised at how funny it is and how fun it is. You know, of course we try and honour the difficult experiences and the challenging experiences, but we also look at the human strength and resilience and the heartwarming stories of people supporting each other. And we really think it's a family show. You should bring your mothers and grandmothers. I think there's something for everyone, and everyone's very much welcome to the performance experience.
It's got comedy, it's got poetry, it's a really sexy show as well, and it's so many different stories and so many beautiful singers and dancers. It's definitely something that shouldn't be missed, and it is on at 8 p.m. at the Compagnietheater from the 21st of July, and on the 21st of July there is free tickets for sex workers and their friends. So if you book tickets on there and use the promo code SWOFREE2018, you can get free tickets if you're a sex worker or a friend. People to come to see this show, to learn that sex workers are human, sex workers are mothers, sex workers are daughters, sex workers are the same as anyone else, and they deserve workers' rights and human rights and to be respected. And really, you need to listen to sex workers.
Yeah, we want to see how sex work exists in a wider society that is full of contradictions, full of challenges around sexuality, around gender, around migration, and, you know, challenging political systems like left and right, and how when those are negotiated, sometimes the people with the least opportunities are the ones who are pushed the most down. And so we look at the challenges that sex workers face, but we try and put them inside the wider stories of women's stories, of queer, LGBTQIA plus stories, and stories of people migrating around the world, to investigate, you know, what are the effects of capitalism in general to all of us and our bodies. If we work in a shop or we work on the vola, you know, how are our bodies used and compromised for money in wider society?
Is interesting is people have said to us, why are you doing this in Amsterdam? Because, you know, it's legal, it's fine here. And we say, well, if you actually talk to sex workers, they don't actually say that things are fine. And obviously, globally, sex work organizations are fighting for decriminalization and lack of stigma, and stigma to therefore be reduced. And we're saying we need to listen to sex workers, and that is what's different here. This is not the opinions of organizations who have never spoken to a sex worker. These are sex workers on stage telling their own stories in their own words and on their own terms.
We've had a great time in Amsterdam so far. It's a really, really interesting place, and meeting people who are locals from Amsterdam, it's been very interesting talking about, you know, the impact of tourism, the kind of changing face of Amsterdam, which we're really interested to find out more about. It's very beautiful. You know, the cast, the performers are so excited about coming here, and so excited to meet other sex workers and to meet people coming to see the performance and to get a real taste of what Amsterdam is like.
Compagnietheater is on Klovniesburgwal. It's on the opposite side if you go south, and it's a big theatre, very beautiful theatre if you haven't been there before. It's about 200 seats, so it's time for everyone to come with all their family and all their friends.
Yes, please.
We've got many audience members coming all the way from England and from other countries, from Antwerp, from Belgium in general. Also, we wanted to share that, you know, sex work is not a new story for opera. It's not a new story for musicals. It's not a new story for films. You know, we've got La Traviata, we've got Carmen, we've got Moulin Rouge and all these popular, and Pretty Woman, all these popular pieces of art that are always about sex workers, but they're nearly never written by the sex workers themselves. And so opera, sex workers making our own opera, coming back to opera, is not something new. It's something very, very old, but it's time sex workers told their own stories.
Ik doe, ik denk na. Ik voel, ik besta.